Ever since the Golden State Warriors won their third championship in 4 years, there's been non-stop discussions, rumors, and reports about the upcoming NBA draft and free agency. Even though money will be tight for the most part with most teams over the salary cap, there's still a chance that big moves could be made this offseason. Players like LeBron, KD, PG, Boogie, and CP3 are all set to become free agents, and it seems that anything is possible. And also add that Kawhi Leonard has reportedly asked to be traded from the Spurs. This could be one hell of an NBA offseason. In this video, I will predict where I believe the top NBA free agents will land, including where I believe Kawhi Leonard will end up. Let's get it! Coming off winning back-to-back Finals MVPs, there is a theory that Kevin Durant could decide to sign with another team. Nobody really can predict what KD really wants to do, even if he says he wants to resign with the Warriors. Nobody is more sensitive to what the fans say than this guy. But I do believe he will resign with the Warriors this year on a similar contract that he signed last year, a 2-year deal with a player option after 1. Next year is when I believe he will seriously consider another team to prove to everyone that he can lead a team that isn't as stacked as this Warriors team. Last season's drama in San Antonio was as unexpected as any prediction made before the season. Spurs were the last team you would have guessed to have issues. Everybody knows the situation by now with Kawhi Leonard and the Spurs. He reportedly wants out of San Antonio, and him and Popovich still haven't had the chance to meet and talk face to face at this point. If the Spurs can't convince Kawhi to sign an extension this summer, then they have to trade him. Taking a gamble on keeping him while he can opt out and become an unrestricted free agent next summer isn't the best idea. Even though he wants to be in LA, I doubt the Spurs will trade him to their rivals, the Los Angeles Lakers. That will probably be the last resort. I have a feeling Kawhi Leonard will end up in the Eastern Conference, and I predict that he will be traded to the 76ers. Maybe the 76ers will be willing to give up last year's number 1 overall pick, Markelle Fultz, for a chance to get one of the best two-way players in the league. It was reported that Brian Colangelo was the driving force to draft Markelle last year. Since Colangelo was recently let go, there's a chance that other people in the front office will entertain the possibility of trading Markelle. And they also could consider trading the 10th pick this year and maybe Dario Saric. And before you say that isn't enough for a player like Kawhi Leonard, he has 1 year left on his deal and could sign with another team next summer. The 76ers could lose Kawhi Leonard and the assets they traded for him. It's a gamble for any team to trade for Kawhi Leonard, even the Lakers. The Spurs could use the assets they get from Philly and possibly move up in the draft and get a player they really covet. 15 years in, LeBron James is still the best player in the game, and wherever he chooses to go, he will instantly make that team a title contender. After having one of his most challenging seasons, LeBron is more likely going to leave Cleveland for a better chance to win a championship. The Cleveland Cavaliers simply don't have the cap space or assets to improve enough to challenge the Warriors. LeBron has stated continuously that his family will play a big role in his decision. Even though there's a possibility of him going to the Rockets, Spurs, Celtics, and the Heat, I ultimately believe his 2 choices will be between the Lakers and the Sixers, LA and Philly. Either play with 2 of the best young players in the league in Philly, or possibly bring along a player or 2 in LA. I believe once he gets in the room with a guy like Magic Johnson, who can sell the city of Los Angeles and the Lakers better than anyone, it'll be hard for LeBron to say no. I believe LeBron will sign a 3-year deal with the Los Angeles Lakers with a player option after 2. The NBA's biggest star will be playing with the marquee franchise in the 2nd largest market in the country. The buzz for next season will be the biggest it's been in a long time, maybe ever. Every Lakers game will be an event, and ticket prices will be through the roof. The guy that will be coming along with LeBron to LA is Paul George. He has expressed his desire to play for his hometown team for at least 2 years. There's speculation that OKC is still in a good position to re-sign George, but I don't believe PG will pass up an opportunity to play alongside the best player in the league in his hometown. I believe Paul George was destined to be the 2nd best player on a championship team. The Lakers have the cap space to sign both players without giving up any of their young players or draft picks. Now, they might use some of those guys to bring in a veteran player or 2, to put themselves in a better position to win. But just signing two of the best wing players in the league makes the Lakers once again a championship contender. Bringing in versatile bench players will be one of the biggest keys for the Lakers to have a legit shot to beat the Warriors in a 7-game series. Chris Paul's season ended once again with an injury in the playoffs. He missed two crucial closeout games against the Warriors, and his team ended up losing in 7 games. The Houston Rockets have a lot of things to address this offseason. CP3, Trevor Ariza, and Clint Capella are all key free agents this summer. I think bringing back the same team is not a bad idea, and it may be the only option at this point. There are reports that Chris Paul wants a 5-year max contract. That might be real, or it may be a negotiation tactic from him and his agent to get a deal done. The Rockets definitely want him back, but maybe on a shorter deal. I predict that Rockets will re-sign CP3 to a 3-year deal worth around $100 million, slightly less than a max for those number of years. There isn't another contending team with cap space that can sign Chris Paul to a max deal for 4 years. Being able to trade Ryan Anderson in his contract could have an impact on how many years the Rockets sign Chris Paul for. DeMarcus Cousins is coming off an unbelievable season where he averaged 25 points, 13 rebounds, and 5 assists, and looked like the best big man in the league. But his season was cut short by a devastating Achilles injury on January 26. Despite that injury, he is still expected to get big money in free agency. Any team that signs him needs to be very cautious with his return to the court. Cousins has said that he wants to play where he's appreciated and the team is ready to contend. I believe that team is the Pelicans, and I have them re-signing Cousins to a 4-year deal worth around $135 million with a player option after 3. Some people think the team is better without Cousins, but regardless of how good you think he makes the team, losing him for nothing is bad business. Even if you do what the Clippers did when they re-signed Blake Griffin and later traded him for key pieces to move forward. That's better than just losing him. The Pelicans' mindset should be to re-sign Boogie at all costs. Aaron Gordon is heading to the biggest offseason in his short career. He had a solid and encouraging 4th season where he showed improvement in a lot of areas. I believe the Orlando Magic want to keep him, but don't want to pay him big money to only continue to be a non-playoff team. Nobody believes Aaron Gordon could be the best player on a contending team. I would love to see a player like Gordon play with better players and have a legit chance to grow and show his value to a good team. He will have solid options to choose from with teams like the Indiana Pacers, Phoenix Suns, and the Brooklyn Nets. But I believe any team that is willing to offer Gordon a max contract could discourage Orlando from matching the offer. I believe that team is the Phoenix Suns. They will decide not to re-sign Alfred Payton and use the cap space on signing the versatile forward to a 4-year deal worth around $108 million. Phoenix will probably look for a starting point guard somewhere in the draft. They could look to move up in the draft from 16 and try to draft a player like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. This will be a much better winning opportunity for Aaron Gordon. Ever since the Clippers traded Blake Griffin, DeAndre Jordan has been looked at by many as the next one to go. I don't believe the Clippers want to re-sign Jordan to a long-term contract, and Jordan still has great value in the NBA. He brings the same value as Clint Capella does. Jordan no doubt can have a team compete for a championship. He is also developing into a good leader and locker room guy. Very professional and gives 110% effort every night. What I believe is going to happen is DeAndre Jordan will do what Chris Paul did last year and out into his contract and end up getting traded to the Los Angeles Lakers. He stays in the City of Angels but switches locker rooms. The last year of his contract is worth around $24 million. So the only way to make this deal is to include Luol Deng because of the Lakers signing LeBron and PG. And for that to happen, the Lakers will have to give up a player like Kyle Kuzma, Josh Hart, and or the 25th pick. Lonzo Ball could even be a part of this trade. And the Lakers don't have to commit long-term with DeAndre right now because of the fact that he opted in and then signed as a free agent. He can play out next season, and the Lakers can evaluate his fit with the team.